Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's go time. I messed up the counter, so we're starting early, but not really. It's time to go. This is the TMP Racing Series. Thanks, everybody, for watching the broadcast live this evening, Wednesday night, the 11th of March already. But anyway, this is Tarnation TV. This is TMP Racing League. My name is Blaine Donlin, and this is Rod Weston.
Yes, sir. Glad to be back with these guys here. It's a pretty cool thing to do there. It's a great group of guys. We're just looking at the chat before I even say anything. Dan Rubino has been away for this last little bit of the series, and he raced a few of the races, and he'll be back tomorrow. So we'll see Dan Rubino back here next week when we start the championship. But the interesting way about this, the way they do things here, we've talked before last time, but they have some really weird kind of things about tires and when these change of tires and stuff. But the first thing we're going to cover is basically their championship. They start out with basically four different racing series. They start out with Cup, then they go to Truck. I think it's 10 races in Cup, 10 races in Truck, 10 races in the Aero 88, which this is the last race of that right now. And then they go to the IROC series, where they do a 4-race elimination style kind of racing. We'll cover that a little bit more in a minute here, but so some of the drivers that have already gone through, basically Viper was the one that won the Cup Series, as well as John Wall, Josh 2, and Tom Musa all made it through the Cup Series. They're automatically already into the championship. And then when we go to the IROC Series, then we had the Truck Series for 10 weeks. The champion of that was Rich Knapik, and Rich was one of the guys that qualified, obviously. Jamie Tedder, John Fast Cow, we call him, Tom Goodman, and Rich Finkel. They were the other 4 drivers that made it in, so they're already into the championship. And tonight, well, we're going to put 4 more of them in there. I was hoping to be a little more dramatic tonight, but it's not going to be that way, just because the 4 drivers that are kind of left. There's more than that in here tonight, but 4 drivers that are eligible. That'll be Dan Rubino, RC, and Robert Spring, and Wayne Driscoll. So those are the guys that are they'll make it in tonight no matter what. So that'll be fine. But then you still have the championship that's going on. Rich Knapik is in the lead. I got the thing there. I can't quite read it as much, but then Rich Finkel, Viper, and then Bino, KKA, Tom Musa, are going for the championship tonight in the Aero 88 series.
Yeah, and they do double headers, right? So we'll be running this track twice tonight.
Yep. Then once we get to the IROC series, that's where it changes a little bit. The IROC series only 1 race per night, and as we said before, there's elimination. So 3 drivers will be eliminated from the first race. Then we'll go to the second race. Again, 3 more drivers will be eliminated. We go to the third race. The last 3 drivers will be eliminated, and that will take the 3 drivers that are going to go in for the championship. But there's a twist. You get eliminated in the first round, but you still have an opportunity to make it into the championship. So the 9 drivers that don't make it, whoever scores the highest amount of points, basically we'll say the champion out of the top 3, they get the last 4 spot in the championship, and then them 4 drivers will go to the last race and try to see who's going to be the champion.
Damn, there's a lot going on.
There, and I mean, that's just telling you what's happening with the championship stuff.
So the what we're running tonight is the Aero 88 with the GNS physics. Does this bleed into the IROC at all, or is it completely separated? Same league, but different series, or?
Yes, so basically this is the 3rd of 3 series that they've run. Got to get there. Don't you jump in and jump out. You'll mess it all up. And Rod, make sure you go live.
To your car.
Yep.
Brian would say. But no, tonight is the last race of the IROC series, and the 4 drivers that are eligible will go to next week and are eligible to race for the championship. So
Right. Okay.
Plus they do they crown a champion, which would Richard Knapik is about 29 points ahead of Rich Finkel. So that's it's a little tall order for Rich Finkel to be able to take that from him. Not an impossible thing. He's just got to, with only, there's a few drivers, 15 drivers or so in here tonight. So it's kind of one of those, he's got to beat him by a lot.
Yeah, it's neat how they link that all together too, because you've got the same drivers coming back, but then to switch mods is cool. So tonight, yeah, we'll see all the custom paint jobs and everything, but when they run the iRock, they run it the way it would be run. Everybody,
Yeah.
you know, it's a very basic template. You got your name, you got your number, and you pick a color, and every car is exactly the same.
Yep, that's how they do that, and we'll see that. We'll see that next week and next 4 weeks, sorry. And that, like you said, they look kind of like what we did for. They're basically it's the same mod as they did for Open Speedway, where they were, you know, they're all basically the same, just different colors, different numbers, and their names on the car. So,
right.
Sure, if it's, I think that's GNS physics as well. Remember the old iRock, that's kind of how they ran it. It didn't have big motors and stuff like that. It was tried to be equal for everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of like they were running a fixed setup, kind of, right?
Yeah. But we do have some drivers here tonight that aren't eligible for the championship. That is Roger Nevelsek, Aiden Nevelsek, and Brian, hopefully I say this right, Bosswanger. So those are 3 drivers that they didn't race enough to be eligible for the championship. So that's the other thing too. Drivers have to have raced 7 races before, kind of sort of enough to be able to go into the championship and race in it. If you don't have enough races, you won't be eligible to even race in the championship round.
We've got a couple of, what was it, Nevelsek? There's 2 of them on the track tonight, which is kind of neat. You said it's a
Roger
father-son.
and Aiden. Yep, father and son. I'm not sure how old Aiden is, or Roger for that matter, but Jamie Tedder got a really, really good start. Brian Bosswanger right behind him on the bottom there. We know this is the older track. I'm not sure if Tom's played with it or not. Sometimes he plays around with the tracks a little bit, but I don't believe you'll see that this track will have a high groove like the Brian Ring track of this version. It literally is just the high groove. So there'll probably more fighting to try to get onto the bottom.
Yeah, so this is the 1997 version of Atlanta Motor Speedway. So again, one of the greatest racing simulators ever. And we can literally run anywhere we want, any era we want. I've seen versions of Darlington that make no sense. It's amazing. I love it.
Yes. I did have the other information, which will help us a little bit. The races are going to be 48 laps, which we can see on the screen there. They can go about 20 laps on fuel and tires.
Okay.
So that's an important thing to remember. Now, the other thing over here, which is a little different, remember, is they only can take tires under green flag conditions.
Right. Very, very neat rule. So like all they can get under yellow is a fuel stop.
Yeah. And damage repair.
Right. So you can fix your damage and get gas, but you cannot change tires under green. Or no, you cannot change tires under yellow. You have to change tires under green.
Right.
Right.
That makes a different strategy.
I was going to say, what would the strategy be? Because we were kind of talking about that in the pre-race, where it's like, okay, you're going to go down, you're going to fix your damage. Looks like 15 is running a little bit slow. That must have been where the smoke was coming from. You can go back and find that. So you're running, yellow flag is up. So you go into the pits, you fix your damage, you get your fuel, and then when do you go immediately once it goes green? Do you wait a little while? I guess it's kind of... Or just run until your tires run out, I guess.
A lot of it will depend on your tire wear, how you feel about how your tires are wearing. So you're going to see this run right here now. We've only done five laps. I guarantee you all drivers will come into the pits. They may not, you're going to see Jamie Tedder, Brian Basswinger who's second, and Roger Nevelsek who's in third. They'll probably all come right down on the first time. They don't want to lose that track position. Well, as I stand corrected, so some of the drivers are using a little bit different strategy on there. Jamie Tedder was the one that came down pit road. Trying to see who's behind him. And Tom Goodman, Robert Spring, Rich Napick, Bino, a.k.a. Tom Musa, and Viper, all pitted, but none of them are taking tires. Going to come in. It's a fuel, that way what you do, like we always talk about how fuel sometimes can you get the fuel, you can go a little bit further. So it's the same idea. You just come in, pick up fuel. That way, maybe you can go a few more laps than you need to. And then when you do pit, maybe it's less time getting in fuel. But at some point, you're going to have to get tires. We know they can't make the full distance.
We just found the cause of the caution there. Dick Jordan, the 61, kind of drifting through that corner. Almost had her pegged, actually, but lost control at the last second. So that brings out the yellow. Not too much damage. I think he got a little bit of damage on the back of that car after he spun around and tagged the wall.
Get the broadcast back up because I accidentally hit the wrong button and shut it off.
We're losing all our viewers because you're shutting it off. Even we don't watch our broadcasts.
Yeah, I had to.
Or like you would watch it just on mute. We need the hits.
Yeah. Now, so the perfect example of what happened there. Robert Spring pitted the first time by. He's back down pit road again just to get more fuel. It's oh no, he missed his pit stall into the back of Tom Goodman there. And John Goodman. We're gonna do that. Probably will do that most of the night off and on.
Over the line.
Yeah. I just happened to just switched over to him. I could see that people were headed back down pit road. So the interesting thing here, most of the leagues some of the leagues that we do, the game controls the yellows. Some of the leagues that we go to, the admins control it 100%. Over here, the admins have control of the yellows, just like they do like over Maverick. They can pull it like that. But what they have decided to do, just to be more on the fair side of the deal, the game actually brings out the caution.
Oh.
So they allow the game to bring the caution out. The only difference is the admin will, you'll get 2 laps. You go by around once, the lead lap cars can pit. The second time by, once the pace car hits the start-finish line, the lights will come off on the pace car and they will go back green. Only exception to that rule is basically just if something happens and they have to, kind of fix that problem.
Right, so the game will pull the yellow and then they can cancel it if they want to, whenever they want to.
Right, they just do it usually after 2 laps of yellow. But like I said,
easy.
every once in a while, well, it doesn't happen very often, but something may happen where, someone didn't get out of there in time or whatever. New leader to know, now Brian Boswinger, he's got that thing out front, Robert Nevesek behind him. But, Jamie Tedder's right there behind those guys still back there. And, ooh, Boswinger get a little bit sideways on the exit of 4 there.
Yeah, I've never seen Brian Beiswanger before. I guess, is he regular over here at TMP?
He's I've raced with him off and on over here. I used to race here pretty much full time, but currently right now I race usually Wednesday nights. I'm over to ASR's Open Setup League, but he races here off and on. Just it depends on what Hey, we all got lives and stuff, so yeah. I see him. I've seen him. He's been here for quite some time. I just, as of lately, when I've been racing, he hadn't been racing too much, but he's back.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that car.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking rig.
Yeah, old school Pittsburgh paints.
But the nice thing too, it looks like the caution flag is back out.
You are correct.
It looks good on that Pontiac chassis, though. I think that's the other thing that makes it look really cool.
Yeah. We'll see if we can find the point of caution here again. So like I say, the game will determine if the yellow comes out or not. Then the administrators can throw it back to green again.
Yep.
So we're looking at the 33 of Tom Goodman in that Skoll car. And it looks like, again, he just got a little bit loose in the corner there.
A fixed setup. They usually run, like they'll run the fast setup or stuff like that. Just because it's easier or whatever. But, it isn't always the best way around it. So Tom will go out and test, and if it needs to, if he thinks that, it's too loose, obviously, you don't want to have a setup that's, crazy loose for everybody. They'll fix it a little bit, but for the most part, they just run it's a fixed setup. Just got in there a little too hot.
That's the thing. That's the same spot it kicked around for Jordan, and he actually got tangled up in that again, too. So that's unfortunate, but...
Jordan was on the high side there, and it was kind of like, he was committed to that run, and then he just didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, I was almost able to get around and move this camera here for pit entrance.
Now, Brian Boswanger and Robert Nevelsek, Rich Finkel, and Wayne Driscoll are pitting, and Jamie Tedder and Viper are staying out, as long as Goodman and Richard Knappich so far. They may come in a little bit later, depending on, like we said, they can go about 20 laps on fuel. They could go, the way Tom was talking, if you really, really push the issue, you'd have 3 yellow tires. If you were gentle with them, you could go a little bit further on tires. So I think what you're seeing with Jamie Tedder and them guys now is, they've threw enough fuel in there where they know I can go this far on the tires. I got fuel enough to go that distance. It'll put me back out front. And then once I have to do my stop, which for tires, which will be under green flag, they'll stop, get fuel, and keep going.
So is there a commitment line for this, or can they peel off any time before that wall to enter the pits? I just noticed that those guys were down on the apron, but I don't see a broken line of any kind.
Yep, no. So a lot of the tracks that these guys run, something I forgot to mention, that a lot of these tracks that they run, they have the, basically you enter pit road and the end of the backstretch or at the beginning of turn 3. Just something they do. It's kind of, it prevents the situation where somebody posts, somebody doesn't see it, and you stop suddenly out of 4 to drop down there and you get rear-ended. Pace car is back down pit road.
On board with Robert Spring in the 74.
Jamie Tedder got a good launch. Viper's right there with him. Robert Spring, one of our RV there yet buddies.
Yep.
Taking a trip up here in
Weisswanger got loose there. Robert's going to have to make a move to get around that. Good save, though.
Second time we've seen him get loose, so not sure what his settings are, but may have them. The only thing they're allowed to change is the steering ratio, and change that steering ratio and make it so that it's a little bit better. Oh, pace car is back out again.
Yeah, that's the thing. And once these things get warmed up, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's a point of when they're cold, they're a little bit tough to hang on to them.
They don't.
It looks like it was Weisswanger.
They don't race back until 10 to go. So.
Okay.
It's another. We have different ones. ASR on Saturday they race back. Jamie Tedder's decided that he's going to pit this time by. There again, only going to be able to take fuel and fix any damage that he may or may not have. But Jamie Tedder's car is a little different. It's on the Pontiac body, but it is a Dodge. What I like about these Aero 88.
Yeah.
Swinger there he got on the apron. Apron bad.
Yeah, that left front got down there, upsets the car.
He wedges it. The paint's over here. It's something, you got a nice combination between, you look at Jamie Tedder's as a little bit more, like a modern, what you'd see as a modern paint scheme, and then you've got a lot of the old school. Tom Goodman out there in the old school Bandit. Aiden Nevelsek is out there in the old Hardy's car.
Yeah, Driscoll's got a cool, very simple.
Yep. Just the old furniture row.
That almost looks like a generic, but it's not.
Nope.
Because it's got the numbers,
Almost.
So I like it. That's cool. And I mean, the Skull Bandit is always just like, or that Kodiak car, that they just got those old classic, just amazing paint jobs. Is it Ken Roberts that runs the Aero 88, but he runs a Kodiak, but it's like Mountain Dew or something? I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, it's a Mountain Dew car, yeah.
Yeah,
then,
it's just that style.
Greg Palmer had the Mountain Dew, the Pepsi car, so they're pretty cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
You go, like we talked to the old school Rich Finkel out there and the old number 2. You've got Rich Napkin out there in the old Strolls number 6 Ford, Strolls light car,
Stroll
the older
light,
ones, but
Thunderbird.
Yep.
with 900 Contig advertisements on the fenders. I was always thinking like that's the trick to a good vintage paint job is way too many little advertisements.
Yep.
You gotta have about 900 of them on there, just everywhere.
Back then, they actually got paid for them.
What do you mean back then? They don't. You would still charge.
Now, but I mean,
yeah.
It was a little different. You don't see all that stuff on there like they did back then.
No.
Now it's all NASCAR stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's why I say like when I'm doing like a vintage one like that, you could just go overboard with the contigs because it really does say like, what does it need? It seems like it's missing something. I'm like, slap a dozen more of those on one of the fenders or somewhere, and it'll all come together. I promise.
Ace car is back on pit road.
I just remembered
the Viper.
I still owe Bob Sire a truck.
Yeah.
He asked me months ago.
You got to get your head going there, but too many broadcasts.
So many.
You got to take off your day off from FedEx and take a day off from broadcasting and paint a truck.
Yeah.
Right, like that's going to happen.
Nah, probably not. Takes me a few hours. I could get it done in a night. I just got to start it. That's the problem. Like you were saying, Viper in the lead here now.
Don't know what Viper has for a wheel, but I do know, I believe if Rich Napick still has it, he was on a Fanatec.
Oh, really? Using a Fanatec wheel?
Yeah. Tom Musa is on a Fanatec. I know that.
Do they work pretty good with this old thing?
Yeah. A lot of the guys have come, when they first started coming out with them, and I think Steve Rubino was the first one when I remembered over to Hobo to get one. And, he struggled with it for a little bit. And then Josh Boyer bought one, and Josh had found something, and he started sharing, with everybody what he had done with his wheel. And, ooh, Viper, come on. Ooh, he saves it. Whoa. Oh, no, but Musa gets into him.
Yeah. That'll bring out yellow for sure.
Everybody kind of woed up a little bit. Good there. That was just a Viper getting a little loose. Musa was right there and just didn't have the time to react to get out of there and not hit him. Just a slight touch. And
yeah.
I do believe, depending on how that goes, what you have to do if you are the cause of the accident, like Wayne Driscoll's passed through there, left, right, and trying to find a way.
Yep.
You have to pit on the second time by. You don't have to take full service. You just do a drive-through, and wherever it puts you in the back is where you are. And depending on how that they feel how that went, if Musa didn't think he was at fault, or we'll see how it goes.
Ah, it's crazy. He slapped the brakes and actually almost straightened that thing out, but they were too close together.
Just looking at the chat, Mackenzie's in there saying good luck to Robert. Like I said before, I'm glad to see that Dan Rubino will be back here next week driving that 44. Musa will be back in his number 4 car. Hopefully, Bino's all rested up and ready to go for the championship.
See if we got any takers.
Spurs on pit road. Double Sec went on pit road.
Yep, Beiswanger just came in.
Did Rich Napick? We always gave Richard a hard time because he's a Harley man. So we always, over to Hobo, we always would say to him, where'd you park your bike? Oh, we can see it right there. The Harley always leaks, right?
Yep. It looks like Beiswanger might have had a flat. That car is sitting a little bit low on the left.
Could be if he had spun. Now, there's the thing. If they pit under caution and take tires,
yes, yeah,
they have to come around and they have to go in and pit the next time around. So they go out, take the green. They take the green, and then once they take the green, they have to come around, drive into the pits, and just do a drive-through or a stop and go, but you have to take your tires off, I think is what it is. So.
Right, so he needed tires because it looked like he had one that was definitely down.
Yeah. You'll see him as soon as when the green flag comes back out, he'll go down the front stretch, down the back stretch, and then turn and make that trip onto pit road
Okay.
to do basically a stop and go penalty. It's his choice. If he wants to put tires on, at that point in time, he can. But the other thing too, not only can they only change tires under green flag conditions, they have 10 tires total for the whole race.
Oh.
So they start with 4 tires on the car, then you have 6 tires you can use any which way you want.
Right,
So,
I forgot about that. So you could do like 3 right side swaps, and
you could do yep. You could do 3 right side swaps all night if that's what you want to do. You could do the first time you go in take 4 tires, but then the last stop you can only take 2. We saw Tom Musa back a few weeks back when I was racing with him. Not Tom Musa, sorry, Tom Goodman, try the middle section on 2 tires, and he found out that didn't work out so good.
Yeah, that was the first time I was part of any kind of race like that where they had a tire limit. I think was at Fast, because Randall had that in play where you had 8 or 10 tires, and it was neat because I actually just had a notepad beside my keyboard. So like when I went in and however many tires I was taking, I would put a little, I'd make a little mark. So I'd never, oh my God, did I take 2 last time or 4?
Yeah.
I can't, I would actually mark it on the page, 2 little lines, 1, 2, then cross it when it's a 5.
I was gonna say we got a new leader out there. Wayne Driscoll is out there. He's one of the guys that are trying to make it into. He's gonna make it in tonight to the last part of it. We have back under yellow again. I see on the back stretch there, he got a really good shot. Really got going off. Got a good takeoff and kind of was leaving everybody. And I see a car in the background get a little sideways there. Looks like Robert Spring might have misjudged where Tom Goodman was.
Let's go back and take a look at that.
I was going to say, Aiden is probably the youngest one here. I know Wade was. I can remember back when Wade's been here long enough when I was racing with him that he was only like 15, 16 years old when he started with us. He's a little
That's
older
cool,
than
man.
that now.
People always, they're always going to be here.
What's that?
I said the people, like all these people will always be here.
Yeah.
And then if you decide to get away from the game for a little while, the game is more popular now, I think, than it's ever been. It's wild.
Yeah. There's a lot of leagues out there, and then there's quite a few leagues out there that just we know of. I'm sure there's a lot more out there that we don't even know about. So.
I can guarantee you there's hundreds.
Yeah. Because,
There's
we know
so many.
We know TMP, ASR, RGT, Open Speedway, Fast. What I'm missing one here. Fuel. I didn't know that one.
Yeah, NSCRA. I think that's Seth Coles.
PRL.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of them. And
SMO.
A lot of SMO is another good one. Yeah. There's a lot of them out there. Some of them are kind of like here at TMP and SMO. There's not 40 drivers, but there's quality races. There's a good group of guys out there, and they usually have just fun races. I think if you get 40 drivers, sometimes it's hard to get 40 good drivers. But like over to ASR, we have 35 usually at that on Talladega.
More than 40 good
really
drivers.
Good jobs.
Yeah.
They're all. There isn't a slouch over there. Any one of them guys could win if they just can get the right scenario and the right people behind them.
And I used to race in a league like Monday Night Lights and M&L, and then there was what was East Coast Thunder? Yeah, ECT. FSB used to have a NASCAR race in 2000 league, but they dropped it, I think. But and those are just the ones we can think of off the top of our head. Like when I'm on Reddit, I come across leagues like guys will, hey man, any leagues? And then there'll just be links from. And there's lots of people playing this. It's not just us. You come across even a league like Maverick. Like there's a lot of drivers in Maverick that we don't see in these other leagues.
Yep.
So
but there are some we do and see a lot of them.
Yeah, you'll have a half dozen guys will kind of pop in there, but it might. I don't know if it's because maybe they follow us or we're connected somehow. I don't really know, but it is pretty wild to see. Like I'm curious about all the drivers in, like, say Maverick. Like where else do they race?
Yeah.
How come we never Oscar Ramos Jr. for instance races in Fast, But
Cody Lamas, you see him all over the place everywhere we go. Robert Spring.
And where else do they go that we've never heard of? You know, like
Yep.
there's always some way to find a league. It's nuts. Any night of the week, you can jump online with 20 other guys and go racing somewhere.
Back on the green, Wayne Driscoll did not get such a good start this time. Jamie Tedder stayed right tight with him. Richard Napick kind of lost a little bit of ground there to Nebelsick boys. They're back there in 4th and 5th. Current, the younger son's beating dad.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Driscoll.
Oh, okay.
Way
I was
up
going to
the
say,
track
they're going to make their... Now they've just... Come on, Aiden, keep it straight. Oh, Aiden lost it going in down there in the pit road. But a lot of drivers, so did Tom Goodman. I got to do that, I know.
Yeah.
These guys are coming down to get their tires.
Right. Not allowed to pit under yellow. I mean, if the yellow comes out now, they're fine.
As they are on pit road, they're okay.
Yeah.
This is the part about it that can really hurt you. Pretty full down there into pit road, and just be 10 feet away from the line and the yellow comes out, you're screwed. But if you're on pit road, you can pit and you'll be safe.
Or take the chance and hope they don't see it. There's always that. Like, I was pretty close. Maybe I was in. You could try it. They'll review it and catch you.
Interesting to see that Brian Boswanger only took 2 tires, but remember, he had to come down and take he took tires before.
He took full service, because he had damaged tires. So
he is a lap down.
Now he's 18 laps to the end of his thing, and he might be out of tires. That's, I think.
He's got one more side. He can do either rights or left. So Wayne Driscoll's on pit road. Tom Musa's on pit road, a.k.a. Bino.
Well, no, you said they have how many tires total?
They have 10 tires total per race.
So he had the 4 you start with. He went in and got full service. So that's 8.
He went in and took lefts. Remember, he had left side tire down, so he went in and took left side tires.
No, he got 4.
Did he? Oh, okay.
Yep.
I thought he only took 2.
No, I was focused on him. He got all 4.
Okay, so he's on his last set of tires, and he's got to go, quite a ways on those. Oh no! Aiden Nebelsick just blew up. Just happened to have the camera on him, and it just ignited.
Oh, did it? Oh, 1 second. I just lost him.
Still going. He's trying to get off the track. It happened where the only good news is that he will be back out here in the next race. He just gotta wait for we're only got 18 laps left to go. They go by so quick.
Yeah. On the 15 here of Aiden Nebelsick. I wonder if it blew up, or maybe he missed a shift, or maybe if he's got an H pattern, maybe he dropped 2 instead of 1.
It's possible. We'd have to look that up.
Because I saw the backfire come out of the tailpipe, so I don't know. Maybe a shift may have missed a shift. He's on pit road now. We're back live.
Current leader right now, Jamie Tedder. Now, that's one of the guys out there that can really conserve tires is Jamie Tedder.
Yeah.
As Richard Napick, sorry. Richard Napick comes down to do his pit stall last, probably going to take the fuel and 2 tires that he has. A long, slow way to get around down there, having to take 3 and 4 all the way down the bottom. But
yeah.
Comes from second, back in the pit road from second position, so probably believes that he can make it on fuel, which we know he can do that, and might as well get some, his tires and get out there, and hopefully, maybe it'll work out for him where he can get himself back up near the front.
Aiden Nebelsick, camshaft. So, looking at the laps led so far, Viper's got 3 laps led, so does Napick. 7 laps led by Wade Driscoll. and 16 for Jamie Tedder.
Yeah. And so I didn't see what Rich Napick did earlier, so I would assume that he took 2 tires, or he might have been it might have been his first pit stop of the night, but he took 4 tires on that stop.
So far, everyone is a lap down except for the 74, the 61, and of course the 910. However, the 910 will need to pit one more time, I'm assuming, for tires. But like you said, Tedder knows how to...
He's good at saving tires. Really good at it.
Yeah, I don't think he could... I don't believe he can go 10 more laps, but you know what? We've seen some crazy things.
John Wall in here, and I've seen him. They've had races like this where, you know, you could go 20 laps on fuel-ish, you know what I mean, kind of, sort of, and it's a, 50-lap race, and he's managed to squeeze out 5 more laps or whatever, and make it with just 1 stop. Not going
Tedder
very fast
on
by
his
the end
way
of it.
there, yeah. He's on his way to the pits now, the 910. The end of lap 38. So your new leader will end up being Dick Jordan in the 61.
RC.
RC?
Yeah, they call him nicknames RC, but yeah, it's Dick Jordan.
Or Richards, why?
I have no idea what it stands for. All I know is they call him RC.
Yeah. In the YouTube chat there, Apex Motorsports 19. My engine blew up, sadly. I guess that's Aiden.
I would imagine it was.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about your luck there. That's the random engine explosion. Can happen.
Putting a new motor in it right now as we speak, Aiden, for the next race.
You got that backup engine. Throw that in there and get ready to go again. Probably in about 15 minutes or so.
Kind of wondering. I haven't really kind of kept track of Dick Jordan there to find out, when he last pitted. I know, I think it was 2 weeks ago, he took 2nd in one of the races, so he might be on a strategy. That might be good. We don't know. Can he go, 7 more laps? It would be awesome.
Yeah.
Closest competitor next to him is Robert Spring, and we haven't really, kept track of how much fuel or whatever he's used either, so.
Yeah, Spring currently in 2nd. But
Bosswanger, you got Roger Nevelsek and Jamie Tedder all coming, all bearing down on RC just to get their lap back.
Yeah. There's Musa there in the 44. Goodman's car is a little bit twisted, but still running good.
Okay, so RC's headed for the pits right now.
Okay, I was going to say he probably hasn't pit yet because everybody's still a lap down, so.
Yep. That's going to probably put Robert Spring into the lead for a lap or 2.
Yep.
Don't know where Robert is either, whether or not he can go the distance. As it is right now, it looks like Roger Nevelsek and Jamie Tedder are going, hot after it right now. That'll be probably, the guys fighting for the lead when Robert Spring pits. And I think, Robert Spring just come off, pit road a little bit sideways, a good save. Out of the pit's hot. He got a little squirrely, but he has just got his pit stop done. Question is, they get in and out quick enough to stay out front. Robert Spring is your current leader. Might have just needed a splash of gas. And he might be out there on old tires. He's a little sideways off the corners.
Yeah, currently watching the battle for 2nd there. Spring up there. It has a 9-second gap
lead.
back to the 51. So the 910
Under the line.
910 finally got around him.
Under the line with 4 to go.
4 full laps left.
4 full laps left.
I don't know.
So
It
Jamie
looks like
Tedder,
it's
they're
slipping.
gaining. Okay, keep it
looks
straight.
like it's slipping. Yeah.
He's hanging on.
He's hanging on for dear life. I think his tires might be running out. I don't know if he's used them all yet. That's one thing I sort of wish we had. You can see it. It's trying to kick out on him.
Yeah. He's losing a ton of time, but coming to the line with 3 laps to go.
I think he goes for it. I don't think he's
got it. Jamie Tedder's, running him down hard. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to hold off Jamie because Jamie is now 2 seconds. He's got 2 laps to do. He's coming on him really, really hard right now. Just passed and just pulled right up to the outside of him. So Robert Spring's not going to get the win, but the next car behind him, which is Richard Knappick, is almost 5 seconds back. It's going to be a good second place finish for him.
Yeah. Yeah, Tedder on much fresher tires. But he's clearly driving away from Robert Spring. That was crazy, yeah. Robert Spring.
Looks like the strategy, whatever strategy, hang on to it. Whatever strategy he used. But here comes Richard Knappick. He's going to put, talk him back down to 3rd.
Yeah,
that's pretty going to be a, good points night for him.
Yep. You just got to keep the tires on it. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter if you get 4th or 5th. Like, you're still going to get a lot of points. Oh, man.
All right, last lap. Jamie Tedder out front by about 4 seconds over Richard Richard Knappick. God, I got to get that right.
Currently focus on the 910, your leader.
Robert's out there just hanging on to that thing. Trying to see. Everybody's kind of they're catching up and kind of going by him there, but I'm not sure he's still 3rd. Yeah, he's out of tires.
Yeah, he's got no tires.
You know if the right front's even holding air anymore. Oh, that was close. Jamie Tedder's going to be your leader. And Robert Spring's going to drop all the way back to 7th, but it was a valiant effort.
Hey, man, he got it to the finish line with probably not much left on the rubber side of things, but
that's the thing too. Now you're going to go out, same race, same setup, same everything. Now you go out and you learn something from the new, change your set up a little bit, or how you're going to do your strategy, and see where it takes you. Jamie Tedder's up there doing the old Chad Knaus trick. You need to hit the back end of the fence.
He was slowing down there. I think he might have expected somebody to give him a swat.
That happens sometimes.
Waving to the fans there. Tedder always does this. He'll go backwards on the track there, the old Polish victory lap.
Yep.
Always leave it up to Poland.
Apparently
they do things backwards. I don't know.
And I thought England was the one that drove on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, exactly. Who originally did this? He must have been a Polish guy.
Aiden says, don't worry, I'm going to put a new engine in, or just grab the backup car. Chilling for the next race.
That'd be funny if you had a paint scheme that had like a burnt hood.
Yeah.
You could like do a switch into a car that looked like it was on fire.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
In race 1, and then you'd quickly do a car swap and come back out in the second race, and it's like, oh man, that thing looks like it's damaged. Yeah, because it was.
Oh, he's going to bounce into the fence again.
Car was pretty much clean until he wins the thing and beats it up.
Until he wins the thing and then wrecks it during celebration,
Yeah.
I was going to say, he ain't going to make that corner. He didn't.
Nope.
Stop driving around. We'll interview him real quick.
Yeah, might as well grab him.
Nice.
Jamie Tedder, you got Rod Blaine in the booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, we were waiting for you to stop doing your burnouts and stuff and, waving at the fans. That's all good. I'm just picking on you, bud. So, good race for you. You kind of got out front there at the beginning, got a little behind on different pit stop strategy, just a little bit, this and that. Everybody was kind of had their own, Robert Spring tried to go for it at the end there, and you caught him running down and, come out with a win. So, it was a pretty good race for you.
Yeah, well, I kept telling Viper that if we're going to keep having yellows, I'm just going to get fuel only and then wait to the last thing I'm going to do is get fresh tires. And that's kind of what I did. And 4 tires and 1 can of fuel at that point. So that definitely gave me an advantage with fresh tires. So I held her wide open, did the best I could.
So now that you didn't use 2 sets of those tires, you're going to lobby with Tom that now that you can go out with 12 tires instead of 10? You didn't use a set, right? Or 2 of them, so.
That is correct. I should. I only used 4 tonight.
That's right.
Hey, first 4 and then 4 more. So.
Right, you got a brand new set there. I mean, can't you argue with him that, you got a set that you didn't use?
You actually have a point. I'm going to see what I can do about that.
Yeah, there you go. Lobby for that.
Or sell them. Give them to somebody else.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea too.
So hey, I got a couple of extra ones over here, and in the 910 pit stall, stacking up tires like they're going to sell.
Lobby for you, right?
I have to say, I think that's the first time that actually planning a strategy by doing that actually worked out for me, because usually it never works out.
Yeah, that's the thing with the way they do this over here. It does make it, a little harder on strategy wise, because you can't take those tires under the yellow flag conditions. So it's Blaine was asking me earlier, well, when do you take tires? And I'm like, it's crazy. You don't know. You have to let the race play out. So and the way you used it and the way it played out for you was perfect.
Yeah, it definitely played into my hand that time. And I mean, overall, it was a good race. I mean, a few yellows there at the beginning, but once we got going, I felt like we had a good race.
So do you think we should bring Tom up here and see if he, we can lobby for you to be able to use that extra set you didn't use?
If you'd like to, that'd be fine.
Tom, we got Rod, Blaine in the booth, and with Jamie. Jamie's got a question. Go ahead, Jamie.
So being on, I have 2 tires left from tonight. Can I take them to next week?
I thought you were going to use them tonight.
What do I need them for night for? Your race is over.
You got another one coming?
2 races.
I know that, but I'm just saying, I plan on doing the same strategy. So technically, I'm going to have 4 tires, hopefully, by the next week. So maybe I can take a whole set with me next week.
That doesn't work that way.
Oh.
Can you imagine the amount of work Tom would have to, try to keep track of, all right, you didn't use this set. So by the time we got here, you'd have guys that would have enough sets they could change tire every time they went into pit road. Sorry, I tried for you, Jamie.
Apparently, it looked good on paper, so we tried.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to let you get out there and get some practice in like you really need it. But thanks, Tom, and for coming up, and so we can answer that question. But we will see you.
I didn't even know I was on.
Just told you. I brought you up here and
I know, but I just got back downstairs.
Okay. All right, well, we'll get you back out there, and you guys can practice for the next race, and we'll get going. Blaine, you better look at your video. It's black cars.
I love it. I'm sitting on the black tires right now. I'll reconnect. It'll be fine.
All right, well, good luck, guys.
All right, thank you.
We got to do the Obsidian. This is a team Obsidian here. They're running these new black cars with no shadows.
How in the heck did that happen? You have to jump out and jump back in?
Yeah, we'll fix it up. It just looks cool in the sun when they're shining. But yeah, we can see on the list there. Well, that was kind of neat. What was that? 1 second. I'm gonna I'm gonna play with this. Hold on a second. So the car models look cool when they change, right? Because you got the different body styles. Well, they're very different. That's neat.
It must be on the drone then.
Yeah, that's drone. Yeah. When they're completely black like that, you never really notice the actual difference in the models. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I'll take a look at the schedule and then I'll reconnect here. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, as you can see on the right side of the schedule there, the upcoming special event. Bob Dixon Tribute Race at Primetime Racing League on the 21st of March. April 4th, we got the Young Gun Violence, the Cannon Hinnant Memorial Race with Brian Wolf over there at ASR, Fluid Studios, which would also be at Fluid Raceway, which is a version of Michigan, pre-textured by John Godfrey. And, of course, the Team Elmo 200, the Joey St. Amant Memorial Race. The St. Amant Memorial Race on the 18th of April. That race has already generated $3,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Shuckers had their softball team generated $3,000 already to that thing.
That's crazy.
So we generate a lot of money with that race every year. Kelly Tozzi runs that one. Brian Wolf runs the Young Gun Violence Memorial for Cannon. And Bob Dixon is Graham McDonald over at Primetime with Keith Bynum. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a good emotional one. Bob Dixon was one of the guys that ran a lot of the Talladega races, but you'd see him race everywhere. And hell of a nice guy, and, he will be missed, and, going to miss out the old grib-up ribbons and the factoids after the race,
Yeah.
But those of you guys that have never seen a broadcast with him, and I don't know if he'd ever really got those in during the broadcast. They were sometimes we get him in there and do that, but Bob Dixon would come out afterwards and tell who led the most laps, who got the fastest lap, who everybody that led a lap, all the factoids about the race, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think he would run the replay through Replay Analyzer, and he'd get the top 5 fastest cars, and he'd have all that cool info that we don't really see. We see the number 1 fastest car. We don't see all 5, but that Replay Analyzer breaks the entire race down. I think that's how they see the amount of tires as well. You can run it through there, and it shows how many tires guys have taken throughout the race.
I think I know how Aiden broke his camshaft the other time. He just spun it around, and he didn't rev the engine up. He let it go backwards, and that spun the motor backwards on him. So he's got to stop doing that. I like that car, though. That's a sharp looking, for an older paint scheme, the old Hardy's car. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, get a look at it there. Yep.
And out he goes. Well, we can't be doing it.
That's the Tarnation TV curse.
We talk about him, and he spins it out.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he really spun it out there. This is just practice, ladies and gentlemen. We are not racing yet. 3 minutes remaining in practice. And then we will qualify and probably do another happy hour. I'm not sure how they do that, but...
So we'll do another happy hour. What they'll do qualifying wise, which we didn't talk about earlier, the top 4 drivers in the points coming into tonight's race would not be eligible to qualify for the first race. Everybody else is eligible. And then when the first race is done, they take the top 4 finishers in that race, and they aren't allowed to qualify for the second race. A little bit different rules and stuff, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it flips the grid around. And like we saw in race number 1, though, I mean, once these guys get warmed up, they can run it. It took a little while to get the hang of everything, but that's the thing. These things are, especially on a track like this, they tend to be pretty loose, but the setup does come in. I find it 2X. 15 seems to be having some issues.
He's backed it into the fence enough. That spoiler's tweaked, and now he doesn't have any rear grip at all.
Yeah.
So Jamie Tedder did that with a totally different kind of strategy, but with the cautions the way they fell, it made sense for him to do that. So that's the thing about it is all best laid plans can be changed by one caution. So he probably had an idea. I was going to go in tonight. I'm going to do this. I'll pit it probably around here. The green flag conditions allow me to do that. Mm-hmm. And so, and then they will, for sure, he would do that. Well, then you go out, caution comes out, now you've changed your fuel mileage. Now you can go further. And, it does change up a little bit, but hey, that's how it works. I mean, I had a race over here where I did the complete race on right side tires. I stopped once and got right side tires. It just happened. Now, of course, this was before you could only pit under the yellow. And pit on, and take tires under green.
Okay.
So this back then, you could pit under yellow and take tires. So I had been running around, people pitted, whatever. I got up near the front, and it just seemed like, we just kind of had a lot of cautions in the race. And so when I finally decided it was time to go take tires, I went in, came out, and these guys pitted. They started getting to the point where they were running out of tires, and they pitted. I kept going, and I ended up with the win. So strategy is all over the board,
Yeah, that's the thing. And like Tedder said, he kind of played it by ear, going, well,
Yep.
we're getting an awful lot of yellow here, so let's just hold on to these tires as long as possible. And like you said, he came out of that race and he didn't even use 2 of them.
Yep.
And
And
they
that's the
seem to
thing.
have that. They seem to have that tweaked pretty good too. Where 10 in a 58 lap race or 48 lap race is pretty much perfect. You're really going to have to be careful how you use them. If they gave you 16 tires, yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about it that much. But 10, it's okay. How do I? I've got, like you said, they've got 6 more, 4 that are on the car plus 6 extra ones. So.
Well, you go out and you have a race like that one was that, unfortunately was a little bit of caution flags, and so they're currently into the qualifying now, but you go out there with a bit of the cautions. So Jamie said, I'm planning on doing the same strategy. Well, you go out there and the thing goes green to checker.
Right.
Now your strategy that you used the first time is thrown out the window. You are now forced to, just go, and you would probably, if let's say they could go 20 laps. So you go 20 laps, and then you'd have 8. Well, if you could go that 20 laps and save your tires, you'd go 20 laps, come in, with 8 to go, throw rights on, maybe half a tank of gas and go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you come in at 18 laps and run, a little bit longer on fresher, or sooner on fresher tires, and then come in, take rights, and then do that end. But like I said, that strategy there gets changed just by 1 caution.
The whole thing can change.
Yep. And I tell you, it took me a minute too, the racing with these guys, to just remember when you come down pit road under a yellow flag condition to not take tires. I think the first couple of races I did with them, I ended up taking tires and screwing myself. I had to come back down and look at that. Our Turbo TV, are we there yet? On Monday nights. Didn't get one in this week. Blaine was busy.
Yeah, it's the fun channel, so some stuff happened that I forgot about.
Oh, good. And Robert, we did our snow thing, and we went a little bit past where we went, and I think we got lost. So I'm just telling you right now, we might get lost, but I don't know.
Yeah, link in the description below. I don't think the link is there yet. I'm going to write that down and actually make that happen. Once the race is done, it will be there. Let's see.
Of course, then we will be here. Of course, Blaine will be here tomorrow night with RTG for the Talladega Challenge Series. We'll be back here Saturday night with ASR for the ASR Super Speedway Series. We will be here Monday doing the RV there yet. We'll be back at Maverick on...
Nope.
No, we're not. We're no Maverick this Tuesday, so we got this coming Tuesday off. We'll be back with them in 2 weeks at Las Vegas, and then we'll be back here next Wednesday for the first round of the IROC series, 4-race IROC series, where they go for the championship.
Yeah, four races to decide it all, really, right? Yep. That's the fastest way to explain it. That's a quick one. It's a good way to do it, though, man. It's frantic.
Yep.
No playoffs, no nothing, just collected. No, is it points or is it knockout?
It's basically knockout, but points are still tallied, because when you get done with the third race, and you beat me again in qualifying, when you get done with the third race, whoever out of the 9 drivers that finishes the highest in points gets the 4th spot. So you know, even if you're getting knocked out, you got to keep racing to try to see if you can, outscore everybody else in points, and try to get yourself in as the 4th driver to compete with, for the championship. So in qualifying, we I know 4 of the drivers, Jamie Tedder, who else was up there? I think it was Viper. Richard Knappett couldn't qualify, but Robert Reynolds Sek is on the pole. Tom Goodman second. Tom Musa, a.k.a. Bino, is running third. Richard Finkel will be fourth. Wayne Driscoll will be fifth. Aiden Nevelsek is going to be sixth. And then we have the first of the guys that couldn't qualify with Jamie Tedder. Brian Boswanger decided not to qualify. That guy Blaine, he can't race. He's not allowed. RC, Dick Jordan there, and the 10th spot, Viper, and then Robert Spring, and then of course me. And rounding out the field tonight, starting shotgun on the field, is going to be Richard Knappett.
And they never do any lottery qualifying, right? It's always
no, it's always qualifying, but there are always 4 drivers that are, and with the exception of the very first race, there's always 4 drivers that can't qualify.
Right.
To be coming in, the 4 drivers that are leading in points, and that takes them out of it, and then the four drivers that finish in the top. Whoa, Viper, what a save! Oh no, almost saved it. But the 4 drivers that the top 4 drivers at the finish of the first race cannot qualify in the second. Yeah, like I said, it's different. It's totally
puts those guys.
It adds a little different twist to it. So I don't know. Oh, I was gonna say it's Aiden. I see smoke on the backstretch there. I don't know who that is, but once the smoke cleared, there was Aiden spinning around, droning it up. I see.
Yes. Cool track, man. 1997 version of Atlanta. This will be race number 2 this evening. They got some cool details in here.
What I like about this track, it doesn't have the dog legs in the front. I mean, it's always it's the old school oval Atlanta. I like that better than those double dog legs.
Right. I was thinking, what's different? I'm thinking, well, the banking's different. But this is just basically it's an oval. It's just a straight up oval. It's not a D, not shaped like a D. Let's get up in the sky here.
Remember correctly, believe they. Let's think how that worked out. I think they may have flipped the track end to end. I think that
is the front straight the back straight now?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure because they basically had to take out everything to move the track outward to have the double dog legs on it. So I wasn't sure what way they did do that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat though.
To your cars.
We're getting them ready to line up. What's that?
It's like I knew something was different, and it's just a straight up oval. That's cool.
That's the old school version of it.
As we fly back down from the stratosphere, we're gridding up and getting ready to start this race. Thanks again, everybody who's watching live on YouTube. Of course, all the drivers that came out here tonight. Always cool.
Aiden said he just grabbed his new car because we had to, because we see what happened to that one you changed the motor on there during practice, so he needed to get his new car out. That was the one built in that Days of Thunder barn. It's got the special roll cage. Gonna shave 5/10 off it just by the shape of the body. He's gonna be flying now.
I guess they've made a new movie. They're working on a Days of Thunder 2.
They've been in talks about it. I don't know if they started making it yet or not.
Yeah, a lot of talks about it. I think it's actually going to happen. I mean, why not, right?
Good. Yeah.
First one was great. That's cool that they actually made a NASCAR movie that was actually good.
Yeah.
Because you always worry about that when they go into a sport that about. I'm like, I hope you're making it with people that know about the sport.
Yeah.
Because if you just
did a good job with. I mean, there's some inconsistencies in it, whatever. But I mean, being a true racer, I've noticed that you did this and did that, and they don't, then I never did that stuff. But it was a good movie. Be interesting to see. I've seen the Formula One yet. I think that might be good with Brad Pitt, but I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that was pretty good.
Because Formula One's Formula One. I don't know if you saw the Australian Grand Prix, but even though I'm a Mercedes fan, I was glad to see George Russell and Kimi Antonetti, first and second. I just didn't like the way the race played out.
Oh, okay.
Like
No,
I
haven't
didn't like the
watched
new
it.
regs.
Yeah, I haven't watched F1 in a really long time.
Don't miss it. I don't miss any of it.
Yeah, I see. I got a
Alright,
buddy
pace
of
car.
mine. Same thing. He'll be up at 3 a.m. watching, the Japanese Grand Prix or something, just because of the time change.
Roger Nevelsek on the front row, Tom Goodman on the outside. Pretty even start. Nevelsek got a little bit better jump, but
They got the jump.
I think
Everybody
you'll
else.
get it. Yeah, they got way away from everybody else. Everybody else kind of fell asleep back there. Goodman's going to drop back into the second position. Tom Musa back there in the third, a.k.a. Bino. Wayne Driscoll back there in the fourth spot. Tom Goodman looking to the high side there. That's a pretty bold move. And working on going in a little bit. Can he hold it coming on the exit? Nope. Wow. Just got a little bit out of the control on him in the back of him. Got up there, just kissed the fence a little bit. Good move. Good. He had that thing going, but I think he had to carry so much speed to try to make that pass happen. It just got away from him a little bit.
Give it just a little kiss like this. He's right back on him again, though.
Oh, yeah. Not letting him get away.
Again, 48 laps.
A
Tire
good run off.
conservation. And you're saying an average of about 20 on a fuel run.
Yeah, the way Tom explained it to me, you can do, if you go out there and run really, really hard, you can do 20 laps. You're going to have three yellow tires.
Right.
But you can, and you can make it and you'll be fine. And you can do it around that same about on fuel. But if you're conserving a little bit, you'll be able to go a little bit further. But the question is do you want to go a little bit further? If, like I said before, you want to go to lap 20 or do you want to go to lap 18? You kind of conserve for a little bit. And then when you start getting close to that point where you're going to pit if it stays green, you're never going to pull these tires back on, so you use them up. You go out there and try to make up as much time as you can, then go down pit road, get new tires and go out, do it again, then come in, get 2 tires, and then hope that, you didn't hurt the left so bad that you can't make it to the end.
Right, because you're kind of thinking it's got to be a 2-stop race, because if you can get it about 20, so you're going to go in at 20, you're going to go in at 40, and that'll get you to the end. But, yeah,
It depends a lot,
what's
too.
the tire situation?
Right.
If you're limited to only putting on 6 new ones, how do you do it? Do you save all 4 for that final stop and just go for it? Or it's cool. I like that.
Like I said, I've seen Tom Goodman try that. Go, run probably, not quite as far as he would have gone with that first set of tires, came in, took right side tires, went out, and it just didn't pay dividends. Usually what happens when you put 2 tires on, it has a tendency to loosen it up a little bit. And I remember that race not working out so well for him. He said, I'd never try that strategy again. But I think, you go until your fall off, gets to be, quite a bit more. So that's why I'd say you could maybe go in, go 18 laps, come in, take tires, maybe 20. You know what I mean? It all depends on how much fall off you have and what the difference is. If you get in there at 18 and they go to 20, by the time they get back out there, you could possibly be, quite a ways away from them. Then you take to, your tires at probably 10 laps to go, your right side. Who knows? It really depends. You got to be out there on the track to figure out which is going to be the best way to do it.
So is there a method to how they choose tracks when they race in the Aero 88 mod? Do they pick tracks that they would have ran in the 80s? When did they rebuild? When did they rebuild Atlanta? If this is the 1997 version.
I don't remember exactly what year it was that they did do that, but yes, for the most part, if there is an older version of it, they'll run that. So like one of the tracks that will be running in the IROC series is Trenton. Trenton doesn't exist anymore. I don't know if you've ever raced on Trenton.
No.
So Pocono was based off from 3 tracks. Turn 1 is Turn 1 at Trenton.
Okay.
So you know what Turn 1 in Pocono is like. You go in, comes around, it doesn't go all the completely 180 because it's, kicks off to the what they call the long straight, or short straight.
Yeah, the long pond, or
Long pond straight, yeah. So basically it comes off like that, and then you go down the backstretch, and there's a little bit of a kink to the right on it, and then you go to 3 and 4, which is, a big, fairly wide open corner, and we are got the caution out.
Yep. So it was based. Was it Dover? Dover was one of the corners too, right?
Nope. Trenton was turn 1. Indy is turn 2, and
Okay.
Milwaukee Mile is 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Indy makes sense. That's flat.
Yep.
But yeah, that's okay. So Trenton was how big was the track?
I think it's it's over a mile.
Like a mile and a half kind of thing, like an intermediate.
Dan Rubino might know because his dad used to race modifieds there.
It looks like the 67 of Brian Beiswanger got around, only collected himself. Maybe not. Nope. The 15 got into him. Or, not the 15, sorry. Was the 15? Yeah, there's the 15. Nevilleson, yeah. Collected a few cars there. Driscoll involved. 61 of Jordan again.
Oh, Rich Finkel just made it by there.
Some damaged race cars after that one.
But now you have to wait and see. Now, they're probably going to come down and take fuel. Because, just like what we saw Jamie Tedder do. He come in, just took fuel, kept getting fuel when he knew that he needed it. Robert Janevelsek is going to stay out. So is Tom Goodman. First driver that's coming down pit road is going to be Richard Finkel. Jamie Tedder staying out, which I was surprised with that. Then again, he knows where he wants to be. So Dick Jordan coming in, Wade Briscoe's coming in, Tom Musa staying out, Viper's staying out, Richard Knapik is staying out. I think Robert Springs is one of the cars that are coming down pit road. Looks like Aiden's going to stay out for at least for this time around. He may come in the second time around. He's got to get caught back up to the field.
So interesting. Yeah, only fuel is allowed.
And repairs.
And repairs, yeah. So now it's an interesting... They're going to have to come back in for tires fairly quickly, I would think, because the first 11 laps of the race ran under green.
Yeah, but obviously, got to do it under green flag conditions. But
yeah.
If this thing goes green, keeps going green, it depends. You take someone like, Jamie Tedder, we know he can go, longer on tires. So he may come in the second time around, get fuel, and then just, go a little bit further and then come in and take his first set of tires, maybe go the rest of the distance on that one set.
Right.
I don't see any of those guys coming down pit road yet, so maybe their strategy is this. We went, almost 11 laps with no caution. Maybe we'll do that again. Then we'll get the green flag pit stops in where we can change all 4 tires. So, race cars down pit road. Roger Nevelsek's got the lead out there. Tom Goodman, Jamie Tedder, and Tom Musa, your top 4.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the camp of you got to run this current set as far as you can take it.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Before. We had cautions way before this. It like you said, takes everybody a little while to get it figured out, get the tires warmed up. Well, this time they got it going a little better. So now that there's the strategy is going to change up just a little bit. Oh, Tedder, nice save.
Tedder, yeah, really nice save.
Wow.
You have to hit the brakes to straighten that up. Yes, he did. Yeah.
Musa a little out of shape. Richard Knapik's going to get by him, but.
When it starts to kick like that, you do have to hit the brakes to kind of, offset that center of gravity and get the car back. Which, depending if there's somebody behind you, could be a bad thing.
Well, Musa, caution flag is back out again.
It looks like Beiswanger. We're going to rewind here and take a look at the 67. All by himself again. Car just got loose. Tires probably still a little bit cold. Yeah, the entry to that corner was a little bit off. Oh.
I think this right now currently could be kind of an advantage for Roger Nevelsek, who he's now coming down pit, going to take the trip down to pit road. Tom Goodman's coming with him. Jamie Tedder is going to stay out. Richard Knapik is going to stay out. Rich Napick is going to stay back out as well.
Oh.
Robert Spring is staying out. Musa staying out.
And Beiswanger was going to go, but he decided to stay out.
Viper's taking a trip down there. Rich Finkel stays out. You say, who's got the better strategy here? Well, you don't know. I mean, it could be beneficial. You're not so, if you had any damage at all, we saw Musa just hit the fence a little bit, trying to, because he got a little bit spooked there by Tedder. Maybe he comes down and does it now, but.
Accident exiting the pits.
Oh, yeah. Piper and Tom Goodman there.
So the 51 of Roger Nebelsick took tires.
Oh.
So what's the penalty for that?
So he has to come around, take the green, and then he's allowed to go in, and he has to do a stop-and-go penalty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he has to do a stop-and-go under green.
Under green. Has to go around and do a stop-and-go penalty. Okay, so what happens... But it isn't always the wrong move. You know what I mean? Because takes a green, goes down the backstretch, comes down, drives through the pits, make sure you turn his tires off, goes into his pit stall. He takes it, gets out of his pit stall, goes out. Hopefully, he doesn't lose a lap or he gets close to it, and gets back out there and goes. Now he's on fresh tires. Everybody else is on, not.
Right.
He might be able to. Drive through the field and continue on. Who knows? But that right there was probably more of a mistake than intentional.
Yeah, that might have just been forgotten to shut the tires off. But yeah, that could be a good gamble. Like, what, take the penalty because I need these damn tires, and then, just see what happens.
Well, you think about it, like, let's say if you're at Pocono, okay? You can pit at Pocono and not go a lap down.
Yeah.
So if you're close to your pit stop, you know what I mean? You go in, you pit, you take tires, you have to serve the penalty. You go down to a stop and go. You're still on the lead lap. Next caution comes out. Now you're caught up to the field. You know what I mean? You got fresh tires. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to go under green flag conditions and pit. That's why I say, that's why they put grass in the infield, because it's asphalt. We'll try to use it. That's why the rod rule's in effect over here.
Yep.
Because I think like that. Base car is taking the turn down pit road. Jamie Tedder is our current leader. What's that?
The rod rules. It's like there's a rule book with your name on it.
Some of them.
The Weston pamphlet.
Yeah.
Jamie Tedder finds himself back at the front again.
Richard Napick second. Tom Musa.
Nebelsick does have the most laps led so far in race number 2 with 14. Tedder has the other 3. Retired cars. Wade Driscoll in the 78 has retired within the last 4 laps.
Good news is that he will still make the championship. As I say, Aiden Nebelsick is back there in the 4th spot. Pit stops kind of worked in his favor there. Oh, so I just saw Boswanger coming off pit road, and the caution just came out.
Yeah.
So, now he's going to be the only one lap down. He might be able to be a lucky dog. There's a big advantage for him right there. If he gets to be the lucky dog, he's just changed tires. Lost that lap doing it. He could be in a really good position. If he is the lucky dog, comes around, gets to the back of the pack with 4 fresh tires. Look, how good is that?
Trying to find a point of caution here. I thought I had it, but maybe not. Oh, there it is. Looks like Aiden. Again, yeah, just loose coming out of turn 3 and 4. Onto the front straightaway, just loose, got around.
drivers that we are missing here tonight, John Wall, he comes in and races, usually tries to catch the second race. But he plays golf, does bowling on Wednesday nights, so doesn't always make it home in time. It was Viper that spun?
When you say bowling, no, it was a 15.
I see that now.
When you say bowling, like a game or actual
League.
bowling?
But bowling league that he does, yeah, actual bowling.
Oh, nice.
He does that on Wednesday.
Play golf. I know that's a video game.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Robert Spring has made the trip down pit road this time by. Fuel, repair any damages that he may have. Getting himself, prepped up for tires for the next time around. Josh 2 races over here sometimes. Chris Aiken runs over here sometimes. And
we just saw Bites Wanger go around the pace car, so he's a lucky dog. He's now he's only 1 lap down instead of 2.
Okay, so he was 2. All right.
Yeah, he'll be 1 now.
All right. I thought he was only going to be 1 down, but it could very possibility that they passed him as he was exiting the pit for the second time, and it hadn't recorded it yet. But
yeah, it did say 2, and then once he went, I just noticed it updated to 1. So he got one of his 2 back anyway.
Right, and there's still an advantage with tires because they're going to go pit under green flag position. He got tires, and then kind of just come out and didn't really have to run all that long on them. So he's going to have fresher tires than these guys. It still might be an advantage. They come into pit, under green flag conditions. He still stays out. He'll get his lap back, and then it's a question of whether or not he can get far enough, away from them by the time they come out there with their new tires. Watching that start, there was a little bit of confusion around the mid-pack backs, but Jamie Tedder, I don't think he's pitted yet at all, has he?
Tedder
nope,
has
he
pit
one.
once, yeah.
Cool only we know for him. Roger Nevelsek has led 14 laps. Jamie's got 7. Fastest lap so far right now, Tom Musso with a 191.085.
On board currently with the 910 Jamie Tedder.
You like that on board. That's the way I look at racing when I'm racing.
Cool cockpits in these cars too.
Yeah.
Back when stock cars were like stock. I mean, I guess they still are. They're still pretty bare bones, but
no, they're not. There ain't nothing stock about a stock car anymore. They don't
I guess
stock parts.
Yeah, if you're talking like stock, it originally meant that you could put that on your own car, but yeah, they're literally just race cars now.
Street stocks around this area, the only thing that's stock on them is the spindle. That's it.
And the seat belts. Actually, no, not even the seat belts.
Seat belts aren't even stock.
Yeah.
Street stocks and at my local track, you have to have a stock lower control arm. You have to have a stock upper control, spindle. But you can run a tubular lower control arm if you get one you have to make sure it's exactly stock. But you can.
When did it get away from that? Because it used to be able to just the cars that they were racing were the cars that you could purchase.
Yes.
I mean,
they get away from,
mind you, they were stripped down and had roll bars in them and stuff. But
it might be different up there up where you live in Canada, but around down here, go try to find a Gen 2 Camaro anywhere. Most of them have been turned into race cars. Same thing with finding a decent Monte Carlo. Most of them have been turned into race cars. So you get to the point where you can't find them anymore. So then they started allowing them to put in either a Johnson front clip or a Howe front clip, which is basically a Camaro front clip or a Monte Carlo front clip, but it's made tubular. Before you know it, run full tube chassis and it's more of a when you run out of things. That's why the 4 cylinders, the what they call 6 shooters, or the Crown Vic cars are popular because they're easy to find.
Right.
But as many Crown Vic racing as they started up and running in every place around here, before you know it, Crown Vics, they don't make them like that anymore, so they're going to get harder and harder to find as you go along.
Yeah. And especially when you're racing them and then you're wrecking them.
Yep.
Everything has to be prefabricated because how are you going to find parts?
Jamie Tedder currently out in the front again. What we still have not yet seen him pit for tires on lap 28. Coming around this time, it would be lap 29. So about 20 laps to go. Sometime around here soon, he's gonna probably be pitting. Richard Knappick is kind of taking a look at him on the going into turn 1. He's currently in the second position.
Yeah, that's the thing. Jamie does have one pit stop, but it was under that yellow flag condition to get fuel, which, he can probably now, his green flag pit stop will consist of tires and fuel. So it'll be a full service stop.
Yeah, so
I'm sure that's the goal.
He's probably going to do exactly the same strategy as he did last time, per se. Less cautions this lap. It's still going to play into, to what he wants to do. I would assume that, at any moment, we will see him probably come down here because they're pretty sure his tires are getting to the point where they are gone. Tom Musa back there, or AKA Bino, back there in the third spot. And then Viper back and forth. Or howbeit, 6 seconds, 7 seconds back.
Yeah, and the lap car there in 9th place is Beiswanger. He is 1 lap behind. In between
Roger,
and fourth.
Roger Nevelsek has just gone down pit road. So I'm curious to see.
This here is the battle for 5th. It looks like Finkel gets underneath Goodman. Goodman actually going low here. It looks like he's headed for the pits.
I was just checking to see Roger Nevelsek just pitted, no tires, just fuel only.
Okay.
Robert Springs also on pit road. I wonder. Okay, Richard Knappick is taking his turn down pit road. Tom Musa's coming with him.
Yep. Focused on Musa there. And there's Knappick. Speed limit on pit road 55? 45?
I believe so. Hold on 1 second, I can tell you that.
They're doing 60.
60 miles an hour.
Okay. So it looks like it's 60.
I remember in the older days, they didn't really have too much pit stall, back in the day. They come up with that as a safety. I mean, can you imagine, pitting down here where you can do, 120 miles an hour?
Jeez.
After a few pit crew members got killed, they decided they had to do something.
Oh, really? So there was no speed limit. They were just going for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ricky
man.
Rudd.
Gotta get there as fast as you can.
Yeah. Ricky Rudd just had a little bit too much rear brake bias coming into his pit. Spun around, hit the back of Bill Elliott's car, and I believe it was the right rear tire changer was underneath Ricky Rudd's car.
Yeah.
These things aren't that high off the ground.
No.
So, needless to say. They had a few situations where people were getting hurt and whatnot. I mean, pit road's still dangerous, but now that they slowed them down a little bit, it's a lot better.
That's crazy to think too. Like that happened in an era like we watched those guys.
Okay, so Jamie Tedder just pulled down a pit road, but the note I wanted to tell you was that Brian Boswanger just unlapped himself from Jamie Tedder before Jamie went down pit road. So I'm saying that that was a smart move by Boswanger to even though timing worked out perfect for him. But he was able, with fresher tires, to be able to go by him. Now, like I said, got to go out there and, get away from everybody and hopefully, get far enough distance away to where he can, maybe. Viper is also on pit road. Jamie Tedder's taken 4. Viper's taken right so far. I imagine he probably will take 4 as well. And he does. So
Yep.
Jamie Tedder is out. Did back out. Now, the interesting part is, where does Brian Bosswanger, he's going down the backstretch right now currently. I think he's going to come out as the leader. Is Richard Knappich about about a little over 11 seconds behind. Goes Robert Spring to unlap himself from Brian Bosswanger, sorry. But he just pitted not too long ago, got fresh tires. So with this time around, 20 laps to go, all order for Brian to keep that out there. Rick Knappich is just about 11 seconds behind him, coming out with fairly fresh tires. I think we're going to see the same scenario we saw with Robert Spring in that first race, where he's going to probably do better maybe than he would have. But then again, who knows? The tires were different. When he pitted and took tires could have been different when Robert took tires.
It's crazy the difference between the two races. Lots of yellow flags in the first race. This one we've only had 3. No real crazy accidents. There's been a couple, but they're nothing.
Pretty interesting to see the strategy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it has to change. Because now you're not running into yellow flags. You're actually out here going for it. So now Brian has to adapt.
Brian Bosswanger is going to relinquish the lead. He is headed down on pit road. Be interested to see if he's only got probably 2 tires to take. So that's going to hand the lead over to Richard Knappich, and I believe he can go the distance, but he's got Jamie Tedder.
Pits are closed, and Bosswanger just... That's weird. The red flag was out on the pit road official, had the red flag out. But the yellow... 8
laps left to go.
Weird. I wonder why that pit road official would have the flag up. Yeah, he's
7 to go when we go here. Richard Knappich is out front, just about 0.276 seconds ahead. But Jamie Tedder's coming.
I wonder why the red flag. That must be a glitch, because the yellow's not up, so it's definitely a glitch.
Well, there too. Back then in '96, I don't think they closed pit road like that. You know what I mean? Rules were a little different back then.
Oh, okay.
Tedder took about 0.4 of a second off from him there. So Tedder's got about 3 laps more fresher tires, and it's really starting to show.
Yeah. And he'll be good to go to the end now.
Both of them will, yeah. Even Musa is good to go to the distance-wise to the end. It's just a question of can Knappich hold Jamie Tedder off. Talked about it earlier, how Jamie Tedder, was already in because of his first round. I think I have to pull that back up. I think Viper won the first one. I was going, I don't know where I put it. It's right behind NASCAR.
Oh. Lap number 44 begins. Knappich in first. Tedder breathing down his neck.
Tedder's got just a little bit fresher tires, so Knappich can probably, he's a good little shoe. He might be able to hold him off, but Tedder can make a charge at it. Once he gets beside him, there's probably not a lot he's going to do, so he's got to kind of just block his way. Get that air right on his nose and take the air off from it, so keeps him a little tight. .08 of a second.
Yeah, they're right on each other. I'm not getting away from this. This is a race for the lead here. The 6 is in first. 9-10 in second place. Rich Knappich and Jamie Tedder.
You learned from last night, huh? I'm sorry, I had to say it. He got so wrapped up in something else that was going on with the guys going for the win there.
Yeah.
Tedder gets underneath him
totally missed it.
Yeah.
But it was a great battle for third and fourth. That
It
was the
was.
thing. You're like, he's running away with it. He's fine. Wow, Tedder, he got underneath him and away he goes.
Yeah. Those
It's
fresh
almost-
tires, once he got past them, just shut.
Yeah. You think he was just clowning? It looks like he had it, he just had to wait for the right time to make the move, I guess.
Yeah, with the newer tires, he was just sitting there riding behind him, I'm pretty sure. And then, just as soon as, Napick just made enough of a mistake that would give him that bottom groove, he got in there and just drove it through the corner just to show, my tires are better than yours. So. Tom Musa back there. Tom Goodman back there in the fourth spot. Good news, Aiden Neville-Sek is still in the race. So, willing, he'd be, if it all works out for him, he makes the next 3 laps, he will finish this race.
The only car that has retired tonight was Wade Driscoll. Tedder has put on quite the gap there already, probably about 2-second gap to second place. And there it is.
Tedder wins both, doubleheader tonight. So.
Yeah, man. Wow. This is how you do it.
So we get to bring Tom back up here tonight and talk to him we got to bring Tom up here, but he's got to do his best Vino impression.
Congratulations again. Like just watching Jamie Tedder show everybody how it's done. Biding his time, made the move to get up in front, and he's got the checkered flag in his hand again.
Strategist, good tire. He's really good on his tires. It's not surprising. He's probably not going to do a burnout because we gave him a hard time for doing it so long last time. That or he's waiting for people to get out of the way. See somebody go by.
That's possible, yeah.
If he doesn't, we'll have to give him a hard time for being too quick. Viper's coming up behind him. There we go. Flag man's waving at Viper saying, "Stop, get away."
Well, it looks like all 3 of them are doing it.
Yeah, they do that sometimes over at SMO.
Yeah,
Group celebration.
that's cool.
Let's see if we can get Tim Bino Musa up here. All right, Tom. We're still waiting for Jamie to do burnouts down there. You're gonna give us your best Bino impression. Can you do that?
That jalopy out of the way.
Pretty good. Coming home third on the second race. I don't remember where you finished in the first one, but
5th, so I could qualify.
oh, that's right. Yeah. So coming home third. You got Bino, into the championship. You've run pretty much. I don't know how many that Bino ran before you took over for him.
He was actually in the lead of the 4 guys before he left, so I think he ran like 4 races.
Right. Knew he'd run some. So you graciously stepped in while he's away. We see in the chat that he will be back here tomorrow, he said, so he'll be back here for the championship round. We'll see Tom back in his usual, number 4. Interesting race tonight, just the way the strategies came in and the way they played out. First race, probably a little more cautions than you wanted. Second race was, a lot better, less cautions, but some really good strategy and how, just saw how those tires were very, very important tonight.
Yeah, it was. Jamie, I didn't see, he was out front in the beginning of the first race, and then he waited 2 laps longer than me and Rich, and that was enough tire saving there.
So he double headers it tonight. So getting everything loaded up for next week, where you start the elimination rounds at the IROCs. Going to be a little bit different with only 1 race a night, and still going to have the same tire rules. As the distance going to be any longer, of track distance going to be a little longer and maybe more tires, or what is the plan for the IROC races coming up?
Okay, for the IROCs, the first race is 105 laps at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and you get 18 tires, including the 4 you start with. So basically, 3.5 sets after your first set.
Wow. Yeah, Blaine and I were talking about that, and Blaine he had said something about a league that he had ran with where they had a multiple tire rule, kind of like you had a limited amount, and you had to keep a little bit of a piece of paper there and write down every time you took tires.
Right.
So 18 tires. That's going to change it up a little bit. Change tire strategy up a little bit, but you still got to do the green flag pit stop. So when you take them, it's still going to be pretty important.
It absolutely is. The way I figured out is you get 4 sets per stop. If you say it would go green, the whole that thing, and on the last pit stop, if it's still green, you got probably 12 laps left on a set of 2 tires.
The distance is a little longer as well,
Yeah, I tried to figure out so you can't be the gas saver.
The John Walls.
Yeah, if there's yellows, there's nothing you do about it, but if it went green.
Yeah, I remember when John Wall earlier in the IROC racing there showed up for the second race. Or no, actually, I think he was there for the first race. That was one of the ones that I was playing sitting admin for you in. And he was... You said as long as they can't make it with one fuel stop, we're good, and then John did it.
Yeah, he's good at that.
Yeah.
Do you guys always run the tire cap at TMP?
Yeah, we started that 2 years ago.
Oh, cool. Okay. So
we
all
started
the series
tire changing this year.
Right. So every series has always had the tire cap, and then
correct.
Is it this the only series with the green flag rule?
I believe so. I had to figure out some way for these fast guys that have to figure it out.
No, this whole series, starting with the Cup, the Truck, and Aero 88, has to be green flag pit stops.
Ah, okay.
So then next year, Tom will, hash it out, figure it out, come up with something different to change it up a little bit.
Got to keep them guessing.
I think you got to have them go, 15 laps one way, then turn around, stop, and do 15 laps backwards.
We could do that.
If the game would allow you, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, they don't turn right too good.
Yeah. Blaine, do you got any questions for Tom before we let him, thank Beano for all the sponsors?
Yeah, no, that was kind of it. I was curious about how the different series of most leagues, the different series, they're kind of different in certain ways. So yeah, you guys have that tire thing, but then you're only running the green flag stops. It's cool strategy because we're always out there waiting for it, right? You're going, okay, well, when's he going to pit? And it worked out good. First race, few yellows. Second race, not so much. So it was neat to see the contrast in strategies.
Yeah, correct. I mean, if yellows come out, the fuel consumption deal doesn't work out when I figure it out. But it is what it is. You still got to get tires under green. So
I thought maybe Brian Bosswanger had made the right move. He pitted under the green flag, and just as he was leaving his pit stall, the yellow flag came out. He did make some pretty good, gains with it. Got out into the front, but unfortunately wasn't able to go the complete distance for when it happened. But that, like I said, that was just kind of cool how that tire strategy, really played in. He had the best tires, so he went right through the pack and even unlapped himself.
Right, I felt sorry for Bob in the first race. He's leading there, and then 5 laps to go, he had to come in.
Yeah, he was hanging on back there. So, all right, well, take that cigar, and put it up to your mouth and do your best Beano impression to thank the people that got you here. The floor is yours.
I'd like to thank me for sitting in for Beano.
Yeah.
And Beano will be back tomorrow, so we'll be able to talk to him next week. And we're starting at 9:30 Eastern for the championship races, so who can make it early, everybody will be able to make it in.
Perfect.
Okay.
So thanks for you guys doing this. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
So is it 9:30 qualifying, or you plan to go green at 9:30?
We'll go green at 9:30. Qual will be either 9:15 or 9:20.
Okay, cool.
Well, there you go. Third place finisher and this race. What'd you finish in the first one? I don't remember.
Fifth.
Yeah, so Tom will do that sometimes. He'll finish fifth just so he can qualify in the second one. But there you go. Congratulations on your third place finish, and looking forward to seeing how the IROC championship rounds work out next Wednesday.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, our second place finisher, fresh from Connecticut, Rich Knappick. You got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy. Uh-oh. I think he stepped away.
That's possible.
Yeah, trying to remember. I think it's Maker's Mark he drinks, so he might have gone to get a Maker's Mark.
I can do a Napic impression.
Think you can? You've never really heard him talk, have you?
No.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, there he
you
is.
go.
My impressions of people just sound exactly like me.
Oh, that's it. All right, Rich. Well, we finally got you there. You won the championship in the truck series and got yourself into the champion for the the IROC series. You finished second tonight. You had some pretty good runs out there tonight. The tire strategy was really, really interesting. Of course, the first race with the amount of cautions they had in there was just kind of made that race kind of progress kind of slow there. But once it got going in the second one, your strategy was good. You had the lead at the end, but Jamie had just a little bit fresher tires than you did.
Yeah, that's what got me. He had just better tires. He asked me after the race if I was saving fuel, and I said, "No, you just got me on tires."
So I've raced with Richard for, I don't know what, Richard, we've raced for quite a bit, off and on, over to Hobo and here. You run a Fanatic wheel right now, or did you go to a Mosley?
Oh, no. You know what I'm running? Microsoft Sidewinder.
Oh, wow.
I thought you were one of the ones they talked into it.
No, I'm still running the old Sidewinder force feedback.
I was going to ask if the Sidewinder does have feedback in it, eh?
Yep.
Still running. You get into Windows 11 yet?
No, it's 8.
Yeah, well, that's why you get away with doing that. Most of the guys that are running, even the G75, G27s and all that stuff, that are going to Windows 11 are finding out they don't work no more.
No, I've been using this wheel since the game came out.
Wow. Imagine you should have put a mileage meter on that thing, or an hour meter.
Hey, I'm still winning races with it, so it's
yes,
working
you are.
good.
You're still very competitive. I knew that for a fact. But all right, Blaine, you got a question for Rich?
I was going to mention I like running those force feedback wheels. If you run a long race, they get pretty hot, which is kind of neat. Like you said, they could put some kind of counter in there to see how many miles you put on them, but.
Yeah, they're tough on a dirt track, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember racing the dirt, and you're working that wheel, and they warm up something awful. Question there too about what near the end of that race, with about 5 or 6 laps to go, you were in front there with Tedder breathing right down that rear bumper, and then he got inside and got in front of you. Were you trying to keep him back there, or did you know that it looks like he had better tires? Much better tires.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I knew he had fresher tires. If I was just trying to see how long I could keep on the low lane and see if he wanted to go high to pass me. Because if he was going to go high, I would have let him go. But yeah, I just ran out of tires. I couldn't keep it low anymore. And once he got underneath me, I let him go. I'm not going to hold them up, So yeah. It's pointless to do that.
Yeah, and of course, if you block him too much, cause an issue, it takes you out of the race, and you're better off to just let him go, finish second, and it didn't really matter points wise. I think if I remember correctly, you were the points leader for the IROC series, so you'll roll away with the IROC championship. The Aero 88 championship. But then next week everything's clean slate, and it's just more of an elimination race.
Yep. Yeah, I got the Aero championship, and I like to race guys the way I want to be raced. If I'm coming up on you real quick, or somebody's coming up on me real quick, I'm gonna let them go. I'm not gonna hold them up. in the last race, last series in the truck race, Viper and I raced the last 10 laps side by side. And I had the bottom groove, and I could have easily went up and taken them, a little high and won. I'd rather finish a clean second than a dirty first.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, buddy, I'm going to give you the chance to thank anybody and everybody you want to thank that, got you here, or whoever, mom, dad, girlfriend, friends, either way. Floor is yours, friend.
I want to thank Tom and Roger, TMP, all them guys putting this on. You guys for doing the broadcast. Great job.
Thank you.
Really good job. And I like to thank all the guys that I race with, because without them, we're not racing. So
that is true.
Good job, guys.
All right, there you go. They're your second place finisher, the IROC. Oh, I keep saying IROC, but Air 88 champion. I'm pretty sure he'll be pretty competitive in the next 4 weeks. So congratulations on your second place finish, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Rich. He forgot to thank Microsoft for the sidewind.
That he did. So you did save that, Blaine, right? The earlier interview. I think if you just take that early interview, just cue that in here, and just don't put I'm going to use the same strategy, and then we'll be good. Oh,
yeah, we
Jamie,
can just go home early. Yeah,
that's it. So,
Hey.
Mr. Tedder, 2 in a row, buddy.
That's fine with me. Y'all
Yeah,
need to
you
go.
actually-
We can go.
You did what you said you were going to do. You said, this is the strategy I'm going to use. You actually used it exactly the same way. Difference was is you weren't around there with a whole bunch of cautions. And I noticed that the first one, you pitted a little bit more for fuel. This time you didn't. You kind of stayed out a little bit more. But although you used the right strategy, you come out, got up to the back of Rich Nafik. As soon as he gave you that opportunity, you rocketed by him and was gone. So, that was a pretty good race for you.
Yeah, he was. He even said that his tires was going away, and I guess I had probably maybe 3 laps more on tires than he did. I can't remember, but
about that, yeah.
So, but I was also trying to save a little bit too for that last 5 laps just to see, but. I had already decided with 2 to go, I was going to sneak up there and see if I could get under him, and coming off the corner, and it worked with coming to 2 to go. So, the strategy, that was the strategy. For me, the first race, and I even told Viper the same thing. I said, I'm going to do the same thing I did the first race, just because that strategy worked. And then I got to looking, as soon as we started, we were going green. I was like, well, this might be a different strategy. But we, ended up having a couple of cautions there. And one of those I did pit for fuel only. And then I said, okay, so now I can be back on the strategy I was in the first race. I can run it down to about 12 to go and get 1 can of fuel and 4 tires, and hopefully nothing happens and I can get caught back up, and it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out really good then. Like I said, you got out there. Saving tires, I see what you mean by that, doing that, because you never know. Caution flag comes out, you're up front. If you save a little bit, then you may have a little bit more tire than everybody else, and you can hold them off and, actually walk away from them, relatively quick. So that was, really, the strategy was awesome. You can't complain about that at all.
Yeah, and hats off to Rich. He always has a good strategy too. I just hate that he run out of tire wear there near the end, but he did win the series championship, so that's awesome. He is one that ever since I've been racing over here, he's one that I really enjoy racing with, because he's very clean, and he don't try to hold you up.
No, good guy to race with for sure. I've raced many times with him. Awesome guy to race with. Yes, if you felt bad about it, you could have just stayed behind him then.
Yeah, I thought about that too. But I was like, well, he's already got the championship locked in, so let's go for another win and see what happens.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, go in there, go into the IROC series with, 2 wins, the last 2 wins under your belt, that walking a little proud, you got that momentum, gonna go out there and you spank them. I don't know where the first track you guys go to is yet, but
it's Las Vegas.
Okay.
It'll be the first track, and then they go to the short track USA International.
Yep.
And then the Trenton Fairgrounds, and then the final race will be California Speedway.
Oh, cool. That's pretty good mix-up of tracks right there.
Yeah, that's strategy's definitely going to have to play on 2 of those tracks, at least Trenton and California, because they're more speedway tracks.
Yeah, plus you get, what did he say, 18 tires this time, counting the 4 that you, or at least at the first race, you'll have 18 tires, because it's only a little bit longer race, only 1 race, so you'll have 18 sets starting with counting the 4 you got on there, and you still only can change them into green flag conditions. So it's still going to be an interesting strategy race. Oh,
it is. And last year I ended up being the champion, but and that's only because I just rode around in the last race and people had issues and wrecks and run out of fuel, flat right front or left front, and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. So we're hoping to repeat that, but it's hard to say. That's still 4 races away.
That is true. So, Blaine, do you have a question for Jamie?
Curious if it ever crosses your mind, if you win, you dominate the first race like that, and going into the second race, if you just go for it, like drive like a bat out of hell and just use up all your stuff, or it's a points race, so you're probably more thinking, let's just be consistent and get the points. You're not really veering too far from the plan, eh?
No. Now, if if I probably came in 3rd or 4th that first race, the second race I'd have probably just said, okay, we're going for it. We got to do what we can. But no, I've always been that way, where I race the track and whatever happens. I mean, and I try to use some type of strategy. Sometimes strategies go out the window with cautions and what have you, but and then you just have to race the car and race the track. So
yep, that's the fun part about racing, that's for sure. So we will give you a chance again to go through if you want to thank anybody. If you don't want to thank anybody, that's fine too. So the floor is yours.
Well, as always, you guys always do a great job, and I always enjoy going back and watching the race, whether I win or not. I always enjoy going back and watching it the next day, and just see what all you talked about and what have you. So definitely we appreciate you guys and Tarnation TV as a whole, but and also hats off to Tom and I know Roger's kind of back in it a little bit now, but hats off to them for the scenarios that they come up with each year. That makes it very interesting. Each series always interesting with the tires and not being able to get tires under yellow and you have to do it under green only. That's pretty. That makes you have to strategize a little bit. So hats off to Tom for a great series, a great league, and of course to all the drivers that race at TMP. I've had a blast with them. So looking forward for the last 4 championship races and see how it plays out. I mean, there'll be a lot of guys that's not been here the past couple of series that were around in the first season or the first series. There'll be a lot of them back too, so it's going to be fun. So yeah, I appreciate TMP for what they're doing, and definitely enjoy racing with everybody.
Well, there you go, your 2-time winner tonight, Jamie Tedder. Good going to the championship rounds with a lot of momentum, so congratulations.
Thanks guys, and Well, I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
man. Yeah, if you do end up watching the broadcast back, I hope you like the sound of your own voice.
Okay, great.
Because
I
you're on
probably
here.
won't.
You're on here a few times.
Okay. I wasn't whispering, was I?
Oh no, you're good. I'm in
Okay.
control of all the volumes. We got her locked in.
Okay, because that one race I didn't realize I had you on a whisper, so I went and made sure that that's off now.
Yeah, no, it was flawless. I was just saying, like, winning both races. There's a lot of this is a broadcast that is no shortage of Jamie Tedder.
And that's rare, so we'll take it.
All right. Well, congratulations on your 2 wins tonight, and looking forward to see you get yourself into the next round after next weekend. Wednesday.
Thanks, Rod. Thanks, Blaine, for all you do.
Thanks, Jamie.
There you go. That was pretty interesting races. Pretty good strategy and stuff.
Such a nice gentleman.
Yes,
It was a pleasure talking to him all day today. He wins both races. That's crazy. And like you said, you called it in the first race. The guy knows how to save tires, man. That's
very
just
good at it.
unreal.
Very good at tire saving and fuel saving, and a smart racer too. I mean, he's not one of these guys that usually gets caught up into stuff just because he's not that aggressive. You saw when he got up behind Napick, he didn't really, he kept maybe putting his nose out there just so Napick would know he was there. But he didn't make a move until Napick gave him plenty of room to where he could do that. And once he got him, underneath him off the exit of the corner down the backstretch, there wasn't much Napick could do anyway. So.
Yeah, it's just biding your time. You got lots of laps, you got lots of tires. Just wait back here, and eventually he'll let him go. And I don't know if he let him go, but you just wait until the guy makes a mistake, and then you take it.
Yeah. I know we got 4 likes tonight. That was pretty cool.
Hey, look at that. 4 people on the planet Earth liked it.
Yeah, everybody's got to come out and check out you, Seth Cole, and I believe Michael Norman's in the booth with you guys this weekend, or is it Kyle?
It's possibly Kyle. I think Michael's been actually running the races. Yeah, they used to alternate, Kyle and Mike, but Michael's been running, so it's been Kyle. But yeah, it'll be good tomorrow night. RTG, the Tally Challenge, and then back here on Saturday with ASR for the finale, race number 10 of season number 1, the premier Talladega Super Speedway Series.
Are we there yet on next Monday? We're back here Wednesday for their first of the IROC Championship round.
Yep, at Las Vegas.
Start all over again.
Yeah, why not? It's there, so let's do the thing. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching too. Got a good chunk of hits on this one. It never ceases to amaze me. People actually want to see this stuff, and they want to listen to us talk about it. It's awesome. I mean, it makes sense people want to see it because the broadcasts are cool. They're fun to watch the race, but the fact that they actually take the time to like it and view it and share it, comment live on it, and can't thank y'all enough. So thank you to the viewers, thank you to the drivers, of course, thank you to SMO and TMP and RTG and ASR and Maverick and everybody for showing interest in the product. It's a lot of fun.
Very much fun.
But yeah, any final words before we wrap this up?
I think we pretty much got it lipped up there. We get to be here next week and watch these guys start the championship elimination rounds, and it'll be interesting to see the drivers that get eliminated, and then of course by the third race at the end of that, we will know who the one driver that will transfer from the elimination people, and that will transfer into the 4th spot, so that there's the 4 drivers that will go for the championship at the last race of the season.
Yeah, that's going to be neat. I have to keep track of that. I'll make a graphic, put it on the screen. That way we don't get lost.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, man, as always, thank you, Rod Weston.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, thanks to TMP for having us this evening. Hope you enjoyed the show. Congratulations, Jamie Tedder took both of those races and, excellent form. So, yeah, as always, thanks for watching. And, of course, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your shtick on the ice.